Lynn Bowden has seemingly done it all for the Wildcats this season, and today Bowden was named one of the 4 finalists for the Paul Hornung Award, which recognizes the most versatile player in college football. The number 2 ranked Wildcat basketball team opens their season against number 1 ranked Michigan State Spartans inside Madison Square Garden as part of the Champions Classic. Very few things are certain in life: death, taxes, and Louisville Trinity competing for state titles. The Shamrocks knocked off Louisville Male 28-6 at Kroger Field to win their 26th championship in football. Sawyer Smith, he's been taking snaps and he's out there throwing passes. I think his shoulder and his wrist are both feeling better. But really, I don't think there's a guarantee he's a go for Saturday. And I think if Lynn Bowden went out there and played poorly against Arkansas, this would be a totally different story. It was a huge weekend for Eastern Kentucky as 4 mountain schools won state championships in football. This is a stat that shocked me when I first saw it, but 10% of Kentucky residents are veterans. So that just shows the grand scale of how many people could benefit from this center and also other resources. Frederick Douglass had the best defense in 5A during the regular season and managed to hold Covington Catholic to just 14 points. But it still wasn't enough to bring home their first state title. The Kentucky Rifle team completes their 2019 stretch as the number 1 team in the country. Over the last 3 decades, Harry Mullins has transformed this program into one of the most consistent the university has to offer. Shooting is a sport that requires great patience and precision. Rifle coach Harry Mullins has preached this to his teams for over 30 years now.
Each team kind of, especially by the springtime, really creates its own identity. And so that's kind of what we're working towards right now, is what's our identity of how hard we work, the things we do, and just our focus and our culture.
Since being hired by UK in 1987, the Wildcats rifle team has won 4 national championships. Now his team sits at number 1 in the country. All-American Will Shaner understands that being at the top adds another level of expectations for his team.
Definitely a little more pressure, but I think the best part of that is kind of just gives us confidence and kind of helps us kind of just know that kind of what we do works, so we're just going to kind of keep doing it.
Shaner and freshman Mary Tucker are 2 of the top players in the country, with Tucker being the aggregate number 1 in the NCAA. From humble beginnings to national title favorite, the UK rifle team might be the true powerhouse on Kentucky's campus.
I just want to bring more heat, make sure that everybody's practicing. I think we've finally got a really good structure and everybody's working really hard, so I think those scores are going to rise.
Berea football is not historically seen as a football powerhouse. After losing 43 games in a row, this season was just expected to be another disappointing outing.
The culture and climate of the school was great academically, but athletically we just we kind of dropped the ball as time had gone on. And
despite all the adversity, the Pirates have started this season 6-0 and have no intention of slowing down.
I say we have the same players. We just decided that we're not going to be nobody's doormat anymore. We decided to make a change.
Berea is one of only 3 undefeated teams in Class Single A. With victories over AAA Jackson County and Lexington Sayre, Berea has proved that this hot start isn't a fluke. Head coach Aaron Stepp credits his team's drastic turnaround on perseverance and this team's determination to be a competitive program.
We didn't lose a single kid last year. Nobody quit. They've all stuck with it, and that's paid dividends this year, which is why we're winning games, is because those kids are still here, still working, still believing in what we're trying to do.
A true worst to first story, this Berea squad continues to defy the odds each week. Coach Stepp's team has proven that you can bust through any ceiling if you just keep swinging.
If you just keep on taking a hammer, knocking on the wall, eventually the wall's going to fall down, and that's where we're kind of at now, is knocking the wall down.
In sports, we will highlight a Lexington team that is only 3 games away from a state championship. UK Student News Network, live at 4, starts now. Here are the matchups in Central Kentucky. Brossart and Nicholas County in Class A, and a major showdown with Somerset and LCA in 2A. A fantastic doubleheader in 4A, with Catholic and Boyle County meeting in Danville. Also, Franklin County plays Central at Woodford High School. Smash Mouth football reigns supreme in a 5A matchup between Southern and East Jess, and Scott County faces Douglas. After a grueling 0-11 start to the season, the Cincinnati Bengals won their first game of the year. The victory over the New York Jets had a lot of implications. Boosts morale for players, creates optimism for the fans, and allows Zach Taylor to grow in his first year as head coach. Taylor says that this first W has been a long time coming. Kentucky basketball adding more talent to next season's roster today with the signings of Lance Ware and Cameron Fletcher. Lance Ware, a 4-star power forward from Camden, New Jersey, is rated 33rd overall in the 2020 signing class. Fletcher, a 4-star wing out of St. Louis, is the 44th overall prospect in the class and 12th best small forward in 2020. There are expected to be over 10,000 people at Rupp Arena tonight, and the city has hired extra police security. But with Trump refusing to pay for those costs, how will that affect local police? Reporter Fawn Evans has the story. The polls are open from 6 in the morning, with voters having to be in the line by 6 p.m. in order to vote. All voters must vote in the area that serves their current address. Some places open for polling are the Pinnacle Clubhouse on South Point Drive, Southern Middle School on Wilson Downing Road, and the Lexington Traditional Magnet School on North Limestone. And with all of the attention being paid to the president's visit this evening, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention an event tomorrow night some folks in the Bluegrass might consider more important.